Today, we're diving into something pretty shocking at the very heart of Canadian healthcare. It's a story that came out of a recent parliamentary hearing, and honestly, it questions everything we thought we knew about our country's doctor shortage. You've all heard the headline, right? An estimated 6 million Canadians don't have a family doctor. That's a full-blown crisis, affecting about 1 in 6 of us. We hear about it constantly. But what if the real story, the one hiding in plain sight, is something else entirely? But here's the twist. What if the problem isn't really a lack of doctors? What if our own system is actively shutting the door on thousands of qualified Canadian doctors who are desperate to come home and practice? So to actually become a licensed doctor in Canada, a med school grad has to complete what's called a residency program. And this stage, right here, this is the first huge roadblock for so many of our aspiring doctors. That number, 3,500, that's roughly how many Canadian citizens are studying medicine right now at accredited universities all over the world. A lot of them went abroad because they couldn't get a spot in a Canadian med school. They're qualified, they're motivated, and a whole lot of them want to come back home. And this just shows you how hopeless it feels for them. Out of the 800 or so Canadians who graduate from medical schools abroad every single year, most of them don't even bother applying for residency back in Canada. So the big question is, why not? I mean, this testimony from the hearing says it all. The odds are just so stacked against them that they feel like they have no other choice but to start their career somewhere else. Which raises a really important question. If our own citizens can't get these training spots, who on earth is filling them? Well, the answer leads us to a little-known program that's running parallel to our regular medical training system. It's called the Visa Trainee Program. Now, it's a system most Canadians have never even heard of, but it has a huge impact on our healthcare capacity. Okay, so here's how it works. Foreign governments, often very wealthy ones, sponsor their doctors to come and train in our taxpayer-funded hospitals. They're using the expertise of our physicians, and crucially, they're taking up valuable training spots. And here's the real kicker. These doctors are trained here using Canadian resources and hospital capacity, but they are contractually obligated to go back home. The program isn't designed for them to stay and help with our doctor shortage. And to really get a sense of the scale here, just look at this. At the time of the hearing, there were over 1,100 trainees from Saudi Arabia alone. That's more people than the entire number of Canadians graduating from med school abroad each year. As one witness put it, that's a darn good question. If we are so desperate for doctors, why are we running a massive training program that's specifically designed to send medical talent away? Well, the answer, according to the testimony, isn't about healthcare at all. It's about money. Canadian university medical faculties charge each and every one of these visa trainees $100,000 per year. You do the math. With over 1,000 trainees from just one country, that turns into a massive revenue stream really, really fast. A witness at the hearing was incredibly blunt about it, saying these fees provide millions in income for the universities. The argument they made was simple. While this money might be good for the faculties, it comes at the direct expense of Canadians who are suffering without a doctor. But this isn't just about numbers and policies. This whole system has a real, tangible human cost. Let's look at the story of one doctor who actually testified, Dr. Alexander. Dr. Alexander is a Canadian. He studied medicine in Australia. He was even offered a great job there. But he made the choice to come home, to serve his community, to be near his family. He applied for a residency spot for 2 years straight and got nowhere. Then the rules changed, and suddenly he was barred from even trying again. And this is the tragedy right at the heart of this issue. On one side, you have a Canadian doctor desperate to come home and help his community, and on the other, you have a system that has no room for him, but somehow has space to train over 1,000 foreign doctors who are required to leave. And his story is not unique, not by a long shot. He testified that most of his 60 Canadian classmates in Australia figured it out pretty quickly. They saw the writing on the wall, realized the dream of practicing in Canada was probably not going to happen, and they made other plans. So let's just pull all these threads together for a second and look at the big picture that this testimony paints. Here are the key numbers, all in one place. We have thousands of our own citizens studying medicine abroad. Hundreds of them graduate every year. And at the exact same time, We're training over 1,000 doctors for just one other country in a program that brings in hundreds of millions of dollars for our universities. The evidence from this hearing really forces us to ask a deeply uncomfortable question. In the middle of a nationwide doctor shortage, is our system actually set up to prioritize financial incentives for institutions over giving our own qualified doctors the chance to come home and care for Canadians? That's the core issue this hidden scandal brings into the light.
Thank you for watching. We'll continue to track how this reshapes the future of Canadian industry. Like and subscribe to see more videos like this one, and we'll see you in the next one.